Hello dear students, today the topic of the class is aliasing, that is many to one mapping. This topic is from impulse invariant transformation while designing IIR filter. The subject is DSP. Okay, we will be understanding what is aliasing and why it is caused and why it is a disadvantage. Okay, let us start with the small derivation part. So you all know the general characteristics of mapping in impulse invariant is given by z is equal to e to the power of st. How you have obtained all this we have seen in the previous class, that is this is analog s minus pi is transformed using impulse invariant by 1 minus e to the power of pi capital T z to the power minus 1. From all this we got this relation, z is equal to e to the power of st. This is a mapping, general characteristics of mapping. And you know that S is equal to, what is S? Sigma plus j ohm, analog domain. And what is Z? Z is equal to R e to the power j ohm. This is in the polar form, Z written in the polar form, and then we have written this equation 1, z is equal to r e to the power j omega is equal to e to the power what is this? In this equation we have substituted. Okay, z is equal to e to the power of st, z is equal to r e to the j omega e, s is equal to sigma plus j ohm t. Okay, so after writing this one, z is equal to e to the power st, what is our mod z? This means the magnitude part or the real part is coming as e to the power sigma t, and the phase or the frequency imaginary part omega is coming to be as ohm t. This we have already seen the relation between digital frequency and analog frequency. Omega is the digital frequency, ohm is the analog frequency. Digital frequency, analog frequency relationship. It is a very, very important relationship. Omega is a digital frequency and ohm is analog frequency. Okay, so the relationship between analog frequency ohm and digital frequency is given by omega is equal to ohm t. So based on this you can easily understand what is aliasing. Okay, what is S plane? S plane axes are sigma and j ohm. This is a Z plane. Z plane axes are RE of Z, real of Z, IM of Z, imaginary of Z. Okay. So if you take two poles, S1, let this pole S1 is equal to sigma plus j ohm, and the second pole is having the same real part sigma, but this ohm is separated by 2 pi by capital T. Okay, S1 and S2 are two poles. So these are mapped into Z plane to Z1 and Z2 using impulse invariant. So this what are the if you look closely, observe these two equation, where is the difference? Ohm plus 2 pi by capital T. Okay, so what you are doing? These poles S1, S2 are mapped to Z plane as Z1 and Z2. How they are mapped? Using the relation Z is equal to e to the power of st. Okay, so this is a mapping equation. So I have written, so S1 is given, for this S1 we will get Z1. Z1 is equal to e to the power of S1 of t. What is S1? Sigma plus j ohm t. Opening the bracket, we will get e to the power sigma t dot e to the power j ohm t. This is Z1. So if S1 is this one, we got Z1. Now coming to S2, this is S2 pole in the S plane. How it is mapped? to Z2. What is the equation of mapping? Z is equal to e to the power S capital T. Substitute here S2. Z2 is equal to e to the power of S2 capital T. What is S2? Sigma plus j ohm plus 2 pi by capital T. On opening this bracket, you will get e to the power sigma capital T dot e to the power j ohm capital T plus j 2 pi. This equation you will get on opening this bracket. So, what is Z2? Z2 is the result, is a mapping of the S2 pole. So, Z2 is coming as e to the power sigma t dot e to the power ohm t dot e to the power j2 pi. Okay. What is e to the power j2 pi? Cos 2 pi plus j sin 2 pi. This part is 0. So, cos 2 pi is 1. So, you will get e to the power j2 pi as 1. So, what we got? Now, this term will become 1. So, what you are left? Z2 as e to the power sigma t dot e to the power j ohm t. Okay. So, we got both the equations now, Z1 and Z2 equation. If you carefully look at these two equations, both are same, which I have written here. Z1 is coming to be as e to the power sigma t dot e to the power j ohm t, and Z2 is coming as e to the power sigma t dot e to the power j ohm t. So, how do we get these two equations? Based on the characteristic equation, Z is equal to e to the power of St. Okay, S1, S2 we have take is given, and based on that we derived Z1 and Z2. So, what we have understood now from this derivation? This is S1, S2, Z1, Z2 we got. So, from equation 3 and 4, from equation 3 and 4 it is clear Z1, Z2 poles map to the same location, because the real part and imaginary part are going to be same. Z1, Z2 poles map to the same location in the Z plane. Likewise, there are infinite number of S plane poles which are going to be mapped to the same location in the Z plane. For one example which we have seen, for that Z1, Z2 are coming, both are coming same. So, likewise there can be an infinite number of poles which can be mapped to the same location in the Z plane. So, we say it as many to one mapping. Okay. Poles having the same real part. Why same real part? Because we have taken S1 as sigma plus j ohm. What is S2? Sigma plus j ohm plus 2 pi by capital T. Okay. So, here the real part is same. The poles having same real parts and imaginary part that differ by some integer multiple of 2 pi by capital T. The imaginary part is differing by 2 pi by capital T. In that case, aliasing will occur. So, where aliasing can occur? If the poles are having same real part and the imaginary part is differing by some integer multiple of 2 pi by capital T. There many to one mapping occurs, which is known as aliasing. Okay. So, here in this diagram you can clearly understand. See here, this is known as primary strip, means which is the area between pi by capital T and minus pi by capital T. Let us say that S1 pole is in the primary strip and S2 pole is at a distance of 2 pi by capital T. So, S1, S2 are differing by a 2 pi by capital T. Likewise, S3 is also differing by 2 pi by capital T. So, what will happen? Both S1, S2 and even if the difference the distance here between S1 and S3 is 2 pi by capital T, that will also be mapped into the same location. Okay, same location. The pole which is lying on the left hand will be definitely inside the unit circle, that is okay, clear. But where they will be mapped? They will be mapped at one common point, that is many poles are mapped at one point in the Z plane. So we say this as many to one mapping, or other name of many to one mapping is aliasing. So when it will happen? When the poles are having the same real part, but the imaginary part is differing by some integer multiple of 2 pi by t, is known as aliasing. Okay, let us see the conclusion part. So what is the disadvantage of impulse invariant mapping? Aliasing. Aliasing is many to one mapping. The S-plane pole having imaginary part greater than pi by t or less than minus pi by t causes aliasing. The analog poles will not be aliased by the impulse invariant mapping if they are confined to the S-plane's primary strip. If the S-plane poles are inside the primary strip, what is primary strip? The region between the region between pi by capital T and minus pi by capital T is known as primary strip. If the analog poles will not be aliased by impulse invariant mapping if they are confined to the S-plane primary strip. There are infinite number of S-plane poles that map to the same location in the Z-plane. They must have same real part and imaginary part that differ by some integer multiple of 2 pi by capital T. So under this condition, aliasing will occur. This is a drawback of impulse invariant technique. So what is the characteristic equation? Z is equal to e to the power of st. The poles differing by some integer multiple of 2 pi by t will be mapped at the same location in the Z plane. I hope you have understood the class. If you have any queries, post in the comment section. Thank you. Good luck, students.